Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're going deep, and I mean really deep, on something that might sound a little intimidating at first. Leukoplakia.
Mm,
You might have heard the dentist mention it in passing, but today we're going to break it down.
absolutely.
We're lucky enough to have with us a real expert in oral health, so let's not waste any time.
Let's dive in.
First things first, for those of us who don't speak medical jargon every day, what exactly are we talking about when we say leukoplakia?
Leukoplakia, it's basically, when you get those kind of weird patches in your mouth, like on your tongue, your gums, inside of your cheek?
Yeah, like a little white patch. Right?
Exactly. And they look kind of like, you might think oral thrush, something like that.
Right.
But,
Eh.
and this is a big but,
Okay, I'm ready.
it can be a sign of something a lot more serious.
Ooh, like what?
Well, we're talking about the potential for it to develop into oral cancer.
Oh, wow. See, and that's something you just don't, you don't necessarily think about when you see a little white patch. So we should be taking this seriously then.
Absolutely. And there are different types too, which is important to keep in mind.
Oh, there are. So it's not all the same?
Not at all. You've got your, homogenous, which is just like one consistent white patch.
Okay.
But then you have non-homogenous or speckled leukoplakia. And those can, those can look a little different, a little more irregular.
So if it's not just one solid white patch, that could be a sign it's something more serious.
Potentially, yeah. And there are some even rarer types, like something called hairy leukoplakia.
Hairy leukoplakia. Okay, now that one sounds a little scary.
It can be. It's often linked to a weakened immune system, so you might see it in people with HIV/AIDS or who are undergoing chemotherapy.
So their body's already dealing with a lot, and then this can pop up too.
Exactly.
Okay, so with all these different types, how do you even know if something's off? If you see a white patch, what should you do?
Well, the most important thing is you can't self-diagnose, right?
Right.
So if you see something, anything that seems out of the ordinary, you've got to go get it checked out by a dentist. They're the experts. They can tell the difference between, a harmless canker sore.
Yeah, those are no fun, but they're not cancer. Right.
Exactly. And that's why it's so crucial to get things checked out if they don't go away on their own.
So what causes this? Is it just bad luck? Or are there things that people are doing that might make them more likely to develop leukoplakia?
Well, the exact cause is still a bit of a mystery, but chronic irritation seems to be a big factor.
Okay, so what are we talking about here? Like what kind of irritation?
The usual suspects, really, tobacco use, whether it's smoking or chewing tobacco, is a huge one.
Right, of course. Anything else?
In some cultures, chewing betel nut is common, and that's been linked to leukoplakia as well.
Oh, right. I've heard of that. It's
Yeah.
like a stimulant, right?
Yeah, it contains alkaloids, and those can be really irritating to the delicate tissues in your mouth.
It makes sense. But it's not just like what you put in your mouth.
Yeah.
Right. I bet even just an ill-fitting denture could do it.
Absolutely. Anything that rubs against your cheek or gums constantly can cause that chronic irritation that might lead to leukoplakia.
Wow. Okay. So much to think about. So if we're trying to sum this all up for our listeners, what are the key takeaways here?
Don't ignore those white patches. That's number one. Early detection is so important.
For sure.
And if you're worried about something, talk to your dentist. They're there to help you figure things out.
Exactly. And, we didn't even get into the treatments for leukoplakia today, but that's a whole other deep dive waiting to happen.
It really is.
So listeners, that's something you can explore on your own. Do some digging, see what you can find out about how leukoplakia is treated, and let us know what you discover. We always love hearing from you. Until next time, take care of yourselves and stay curious.